So, hi and welcome to a new section. And in this section, we are going to talk about depositing and withdrawing both Ether and tokens. And we will implement this into our index.html site. And for the first part of this section, we are just finishing up the whole index.html site. And it's very straightforward. You need the same menu as in the manage token side, and we need almost the same kind of forms. And we are going to start right now with the menu. So I'm almost copying over the menu from the manage token side. The only difference is that our exchange overview is the active menu item here. And that's it. So this is the whole menu that we need. And then the other thing that we want to have is 4 different forms. One for deposit tokens, one for withdraw tokens, one form for depositing Ether, and one form for withdrawing Ether. Now, first let me do the scaffolding. We have Bootstrap, and Bootstrap is working with containers and rows. So we have a container and a row, and then we close this again. And inside our rows, we have one form now for tokens for depositing, both tokens and Ether. And let me just get this in here because we also want to have our side panel again. And I would just take the exactly same side panel from our manage token side, and I will put this here inside our index.html. So this is only for us for debugging or for developing our contract. Very handy. Now for the rest of the 8 columns, we are going to have our deposit functions. And I will go through this with you now step by step. We have normal headline, a title, distributed token exchange, nothing special here. We are going to fill in the balance of the tokens and the balance of the Ether later in our app.js. We haven't implemented it yet, so we do this in the next sections. This lecture is just for getting the HTML right. Then we have deposit. And here we have 2 panels. The one is for deposit tokens and the other one is for deposit Ether. Both panels have a form, and the one form for deposit token is with 2 input fields where you have to enter the symbol name that you want to deposit tokens for and the amount of token, and you will see why when we are going to implement the logic in the app.js file. And the deposit in Ether has only one input form, and the reason is because we are going to directly from the currently active account in MetaMask or in Mist, we are going to send a transaction and depositing Ether in our exchange contract. Now this is fairly straightforward, isn't it? And then we have pretty much the same for the withdrawal functions. Let me also copy and paste this inside here. This was wrong. This is right. So we have a horizontal line, and then we have the withdrawal functions. We again have 2 panels side by side. One for withdraw tokens, and we say which token do you actually want to withdraw, which symbol name, and how much of those tokens. And then we call the app withdraw token function, which we're going to implement in the next lectures. And the same for withdraw Ether. We have a certain amount of Ether in our exchange, so we want to withdraw that again. We say how much, and we call the withdraw Ether function when we click the button. So while the whole logic is not in our app.js yet, but the HTML should be really straightforward. You don't have to have those panels if you don't want to. I chose them because Bootstrap is offering them as a CSS framework. But if you want to have only standard, not styled CSS, or not styled HTML, then you obviously can just leave all of this out and just concentrate on the forms and the buttons. So that's all you need. And now we are going to test that, and I start my Webpack web server and I open my browser. Now I've started my Webpack dev server on localhost 8080, and I went to the index.html side. You remember the manage token side, still working, and the exchange overview. There is no amount yet read from our exchange. Also the events and everything else is empty for now, and we have the two sections, deposit and withdraw. And in deposit we have deposit token, where we have to enter a symbol name and an amount, and deposit ether, where we have to enter an amount. We have two panels for withdrawal. The one is for withdraw tokens, where we enter the symbol name and the amount that we want to withdraw, and an amount of ether that we want to withdraw. Now those are all doing nothing yet, and I see you in the next lectures where we are going to implement the logic for those.